Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Cavernwood colony, and today we've got a lot of work to do around the colony. Last time we finished our aqueduct, and it's putting out just under 14,000 power, so hopefully that'll be enough power for most of the colony. We're going to have to make some storage over here today. I'd like to continue on with our elevated area here. And we've got some more tunnels to dig for both our solid two-way subway station, and maybe we'll redirect some bad water as well. So let's start over here. We're going to actually take these both out. They can come and pick up all the stuff. And we're just going to dig down here for a nice storage area, so that we'll have it. Let's do 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. And same thing here. 6 wide, 6 wide, and 6 wide. There we go. We'll let them put in all of that. Over here, I don't remember if we needed to take out anything else to get the platforms in. Let's take a look real quick. It looks like just the ladders, so we can do that real quick. 1 stack of ladders gone. There we go. And now we can simply put in, will it let me grab the platform? Yep, it sure did. We'll put the platform in here and they can get started on that. We might actually want to start back up our metal and our explosives over here area so that we can get that taken care of. We've got dirt, so we'll go ahead, we'll fill in this area with dirt. Now, we're going to have to leave 3 here because, again, we're going to be making an underground river. So let's go ahead, get all of these in. And then here, we can pretty much go straight across. There we go. It was thinking about that for a second. There we go. All of this can go in here. I don't want it to overhang at the moment. We'll just fill in what we have, and then I'm going to take out this one here, and we're going to build ladders down, not because we need access to the river. That'll get taken back in. However, I'm going to go across here, and we need access to the bottom of this so that we can, well, let's move the map down here so that we can get to it easy. There we go. And we're going to need impermeable floors, or this is just going to make a giant mess in our forest. So, yep, those are all set up. They should be all reachable from there. We'll let them work a little bit on that. We have a bunch of builders still around, so we'll let them work on that. Up here, I want to get subways going to both the industrial area, and I want to see if we can get one to this mine as well. And you know what? There's a pretty much a lone little area over here that we might try and connect that in. We might even try and connect in our pine forest if it lets us. So, you know what? We'll have to put in another subway station over here. Tiny tubeway station. We can't put it right next to this, or we could put it here. But just in case, I'm going to put it one more down. You never know. Maybe the water will flood again, and we don't want everything to get flooded. Hopefully it doesn't. Let's go ahead and say, let's take this out. There we go. We'll make sure that that is high priority, so they take care of that. Oh, our dynamite field is done already. Well, it's hard to resist a good dynamite explosion. There we go. Excellent dynamite fields. All right, now we can get down here and remove the next 2 layers. Let's go. This, we'll put in some of these. Here we go. We'll put in some of these. Put in some of these. There we go. And double dynamite. We'll double dynamite this whole area here. There we go. We'll let them work on that too. And look, they've got this out of here. So let's go ahead, take that down. Looks like we've got a whole conga line of builder beavers working on stuff over here. Is this all for the metal blocks? Yep, they're just bringing them up, dropping them off, and headed back for more. While they're doing that, though, let's go ahead and go back underground. There we go. And we're going to want the sidewards tunnel dynamite. Come out about that far, because I want the tunnel to come up right next to where that second mine is going, because I'm sure we'll want to put a mine in there eventually. There we go. And then we're also going to want to come up here, of course, so that we can get into our industrial area once we get it moved. But that's definitely going to take a few minutes. Well, some of the beavers are working on the subway and more explosions. We're going to have a couple more come over here and set up maybe a couple of dams in this area, because now that there's not bad water flowing through here and all the bad water should be flowing off the map, we can probably move the next dam stop down to here. I also want to put in a couple up here so that this retains water for just a little bit longer and maybe keeps a little bit more of the area green. Let's go ahead and we'll climb up there, or have them set something up so that they can climb up there. Oh, you know what? There's already a way up there, so we're just going to take this. We're going to take a path, go here and here, and we'll put in just some single floodgates there. Raise them up to about 90 so that we get more water that way. And then we're going to come over, let's say, here's a ladder. We'll come up here and then back over here. Down we go. Over to this, and we'll see where is even there. What is this? This is 4 height. This is also 4 height. So we'll want it right there at that height. We'll toss in, not terrains. I really do want levees to actually hold back water. There we go. Terrain will work just fine, but we're going to do this for now. So let's put this in. We'll do dams here. And then we're going to need stairs at the end so that we can get these trees out of here and finish clearing that out. In fact, we might just do something like that, and then we'll toss in 1 lumberjack flag there and say, let's cut all of these trees, because we have yet to actually fill back up our tree supply. Hopefully here soon we might, but I guess we'll see. There was a slight change recently about giving the beavers more well-being and it doing a little bit more. So as you can see, now we've got even more beavers and bots than we previously had. So what I want to do is we're going to use that to, again, build more builders. So let's go ahead, grab the builders. There it is. We'll do just builders down this side. We got 20 of them, so about 5 of those. And then for the bots, we're going to do a hauling post. Again, hauling posts aren't the best for bots, but if we start seeing a bunch of bots out of energy, we'll see what we can do to maybe set up another charger or 2 just around the colony. And if we still have problems, we'll just change them out. It always works. We can always change something else and put just some more beavers in there. Over here, our platform is mostly covered. Unfortunately, we might run out of dirt before they finish that. That's looking pretty likely, but you know what? That's also okay. They have plenty of other projects to work on. For example, dynamite. And it looks like the dynamite field down here is done, so let's take this out of here. There we go. That'll work just perfectly. We'll go ahead, we'll take out 2 ladders. Yep. There you go. Well, the 2 sets of ladders, I guess you could say. And we'll do this one here, and this one here. And there is the exit from the tunnel. If we check down on it, let's see where that tunnel has got to so far. Okay, so they've put in these extra pieces for us, and I will take those out of there just in case they need to use them. And we'll switch this over to the tiny tubeway station for now. There we go. And they'll dynamite as far as they can there, and then we'll connect it in. It looks like we've got, yep, the dynamite. Is this ready up here? Yeah, it's ready up there. So we can actually take that out. And I don't know if they need that now. It might just be floating in midair. We'll check here. Yeah, actually, it does look like we still need it. So we'll just wait for them to get over there and take care of that. And we'll keep an eye on them. Over here, let's take a look. Do they have... Oh, we want all the way back up. There we go. Yep, they sure do. Let's take those out of there. Let's take that out of there. And then we can plan how we're going to set this up. I think we're going to do 2 ways for the most part, but we're also going to have storage down here for things. So we're going to start with some industrial piles, maybe 4, so that we can still hide them under the ground if we want to. And we'll do this one the same way. There's 4 there. And, we can get out there. That's perfectly fine. Over here, I'm going to have to take down a whole nother row. Okay, well, that's not the biggest of deals. It's not like we don't have the dynamite or the extract for it. We'll come all the way down here, let them work on this. Wow, they're getting those in there because they're next to stuff. But I want to make more storage here, or plan for more storage. There we go. We'll do this. Now this one is going to have an issue because that is backwards. I guess we could just change where this is. You know what? We'll just do that. We'll just change the direction of that particular one. It's not like we're using it or things are set in stone for it anyway at this moment. So we'll get those in, and let's do some more storage here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That will cover those. Now, over here, let's see what we can do about storage for explosives and probably bad water. We'll have to put some of that down here as well, won't we? Let's grab the large storage here. If I do this and this, yep, that lines up perfectly. And then we can do this and this. And can I do... isn't that 3 tall or is that 2 tall? I think that's... Let's find out real quick. I could have swore that that was tall, which means we might only be able to get 1 tunnel down here. But that's not the biggest of deals. We'll figure that out as we go along. I'd like to look into changing this just a bit, maybe blocking the exit for the bad water here. Not completely blocking, but redirecting it. So I think we're going to start. We just want to put in some dirt here. And I think what we're going to do is... Let's do that. We'll take out this dirt here so it can have more of a straight distance to the exit of the map. And do I even want to put in, like... I don't know what the point of putting in a dam here is, because this should be flowing pretty much all the time. And then once we get in there and we block this off, we might actually go back to block this off as well. But we're going to build the tunnel to it and then maybe out a different way. We got our first line of dynamite in here, so we'll go ahead and take that out while we're waiting for some of the subway to go in. While that's going, let's go ahead and put in more dynamite here just so we can get that all taken care of for them. I think they can still reach that one. Yeah, they can reach it from up there if nothing else. And then underground, let's check and see where our dynamite is here. We'll see maybe how far they've made it. They've made it a little ways now. That's good. We'll keep extending these paths so that they can get to all of these. And have they made this far enough to put in... yes, they have. So, I tell you what, let's take that out. And if I go back under, have they gone at least 2 past this area so that I can put in another tiny two-way station? Yes, they have. Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to temporarily suspend this. Yep. And as soon as that guy gets out of there, no more going out that way for a minute. Let's take this out this way. And where is the upwards on this? There it is. Let's go up here. And once again, we will do tiny two-way station. There we go. They can get out there. Build all of that in and hopefully come down and build in a lot more across there. We've got the end of this dam in over here, so I'm going to go ahead. We're going to just... You know what? Let's just use dams all the way across. Why not? And we'll extend this road out and around, maybe through the forest here. There we go. And we'll move this guy over to here and say, once again, cut all these trees. There we go. And we will even put in one nice, there we go, ladder. That should do just fine. And this guy can go find something else to do. There we go. A little extra water there is definitely greening up this whole area. I think that looks pretty nice. Over here, looks like they've got all this dynamite laid, so let's go ahead, get that out of there. And they even opened up the end of the tunnel here, as you can see. Yep. And that let them build out to this. So let's go ahead here and see what we can get, what else we can get them to build. We're going to have them, we're going to have them put in the connection points along here first, I think. So let's go tiny two-way station. We're going to need one for this, and let's see, they will have to come back for that one. And we'll get these two, should still be able to be got from here. That one, and this one, and that one, and then the one at the very end. We'll start on those. They should, hopefully, let's see if we can bring the path out so that they can start working on all of those. How far did the path go? It stopped about there. So let's come out over to here, around to here, up through here. There we go. They're picking up some of the extra stuff as well. There we go. Looks good. How are they doing over here? Looks good here. Do we have the... This is built. Wonderful. Which means if I go back down here to this one here, yep, we can just do a tiny two-way right here on the end and continue building. Spin around there, and we'll even toss in just a little bit of roadway. However, since they've got most of this in, that means we can take out this part here. We won't be able to get up here, but right now there's not a lot of point to even being up here. So we're just going to take it out. If we need to, I'll just connect it in right here. So let's go ahead and remove the tunnel that goes between here. I guess this tubeway that goes between here and there. And till we get this done, we'll leave this in. They have a different way. Yeah, they're not even going in there anymore. So we'll take that out. And hopefully they can pick that up. And I don't know if they'll be able to pick this up from there or not. It's all right. Whatever. We'll have them get that. Eventually, we'll clear that out of there. Let's take out all of these. There we go. That's looking nice. They can use all of those for something else. We've got our bridge in here, but you can't even tell that there's a tunnel connecting these 2 points, which I think is pretty neat. Yes, we can. All right. 3, 2, 1. I've been thinking about how to redirect this source to over here, and I think the best way actually might be to come up and over Mystic Mountain here. But we'll come across something like this. There we go. Do this, and then we'll come down here and maybe blast a tunnel underneath over here and then to over here, and we'll work on that. So I want to go ahead and drop down 3 here, and we'll see what height that puts that at afterwards. I realized my mistake here in that they can't build to the side of either of the tiny tubeway stations. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to grab the solid tubeways for these. There we go. And we'll just put them in where they need to be put in. We'll do 1 on either side here and 1 here. Same thing here. We'll put 1 in there. We can do 1 here and here and here. And we'll just let them build it 1 at a time. Got our triple dynamite in here, so let's take that out, and that puts it at 2, which is pretty much right where this is. So what we might do here, let's go down to where this is at. Lower the map down, there we go. So we do this, and we do landscaping. Let's do... If I do 1 lower, will it really... know that it's going to interfere? It might interfere with that. So let's leave it here for now. And we'll go dynamite this way and this way. And then also over this way. That... we'll hold off on that one. And then let's go ahead and if I move all the way up, we'll get ladders down here. Hopefully they can build those in there. There we go. We'll let them build that. And it doesn't look like the dynamite's coming through on either side. Let's double check that it doesn't spill out here and we end up with beavers soaked in dynamite. Nope. It should be okay. So we'll keep an eye on that as they go. They're finishing up the last of these. However, I noticed we've got one that's just going to be slightly backwards here. So one we're going to have to put out this way, which is fine. I anticipated on using this free space somehow. But the other one, I'm going to have to actually change this explosives factory around because it's going to need basically a doorway on the other side so that we can connect to our storage. So we'll just do that real quick. There we go. We'll have them get all of that in, and it looks like after that everything will at least be connected. I don't know. There we go. They've got a couple of them connected there, which means we can actually unpause these and start using some of them. There we go. They've almost got this one done. What do they need? Gears? Gears have been kind of scarce everywhere. There we go. They've got all these done. We can go ahead, unpause all those. I would like these, though, to be bots. And we'll probably recover a couple of bots as we clear up the other ones over there. Bots. This one... Did I do the same thing and... Yep, I might actually need to switch the sides on this one. So, we'll just do this, and we'll do that, and this one. Oh, that's why. I need to actually put an entrance on this one. They would probably appreciate that. There we go. Let's make that super high priority so they can get that back in. Then after that, looks like, oh, they can actually turn these back on too. So those should be good to go. And we can come back over here and eliminate a lot of these. So that can go, that can go, that can go. We'll take out this as well. We don't really need this or this. Let's see, do we need these? No, because we should have those all taken care of. However, I do need more gear factories at the moment, so let's do that. Am I gonna have to switch the way that these go in there? Yes, let's flip that. And we'll just put in gear factories for the moment so that we can get caught up on those. Let's see, this we're not going to need anymore, but I can't take those out quite yet. Anywhere else that we can probably pull from? No, it doesn't look like anything else can come out. While we're over here, though, let's check our tunnel underneath. I'll get rid of that, and we'll see how far this is. Okay, looks like it's one away on both sides. So let's take all of this out. Yep. There we go. And if they can't get to it, not a big deal. They'll recover whatever they can recover. Here, I'm going to go ahead and do a single dynamite here. I believe it came out of right here. So needs a single dynamite there. I think. That will get you to there. Nope, it actually needs a double dynamite there, doesn't it? Which means both of them might need a double dynamite. We'll do 2 dynamite there. We'll do 2 dynamite here. And then we got to find a way for them to get down there. I guess if I'd have left the ladders, they probably could have went that way, but that's okay. We'll just come around, I guess. This way, this way. Let's do a triple platform. Since we're already rebuilding stuff we probably didn't need to. That's okay. We'll figure all this out. This goes here. And then we will need to say, take out these 3 trees. And we'll put in a bit of a road so that they can get around them. Hopefully that's enough. And yeah, we'll come back to that in a second. I just remembered we are going to need this pipe because we're going to have to put a dynamite that goes down to the subway down here. So what we're going to do there, first of all, we shouldn't need these. So we'll go ahead and get rid of those. And those can go. We'll do tiny tubeway here. There we go. So that can come out. We'll say 3 dynamite here, and then to connect it back in, let's just grab this. We'll put a couple of those here, and we'll temporarily have that go up and back over here so that we can tunnel all the way down here. Then we can get rid of all of this extra stuff. Now that the base structure is in here, we can go ahead and keep on building upwards to connect these in. We'll do those. We'll do each of these. Some more of these. There we go. Some more of those. Hopefully they should be able to build all of that. We'll do underneath here. Let's just we'll do the same thing. Probably could have put them one closer on each side, but do I want to rebuild it for that? Or that one little bitty extra piece of speed? Yeah, I kind of do, actually. We'll do that. You ever just feel like you've been too picky with your building? Yeah, I definitely do sometimes. But, you know what? If you're going to do it and not redo it, you might as well do it right, right? So let's grab this. Let's grab... we need to get rid of this road underneath here. There we go. And same thing here. These can all go up here. These take this out, take this out, that out, this out, and these two, the stack goes as well. We'll have them rebuild. That's all connected in. And now, if I take out this road, there we go. Same thing we can do on the other side. Let's go ahead and put in these so that they can get to each of those. We'll do roads in between each of them. Actually, I hope I need those quite that way for that section. So let's do this. We'll do 2s here. So, yep, that should be enough. That should be enough. We'll do roads here. Won't need one there. Here I do need 1s though. So let's put the 1s in. There we go. Same thing here. We need a stack of these. Oh, there's a road in the way. That's why it wouldn't let me build. Is there still a road down here too? There we go. And these are facing the wrong way somehow. Did set those the right way, right? Yep. All right, let's build upwards. There's that, and build all those upwards. And now they should hopefully be able to build a lot of that. We'll keep an eye on them and make sure that they get to most of this. They've got the double dynamite here in for both of these, so let's go ahead. We'll take that one out, take this one out, and then that should give them, after a brief explosion of bad water, there we go. That should give them a bit of a way through there. Now we're going to take and put in some more overhangs here. Let's see. We want to do 2s there. And then we don't really need the overhangs over there. It should just flow out into that. And after that, we will put in dirt on top of this. So we'll do 2 of you. Let's go ahead, get in the single platform here that we're going to need. Do I need... Well, we might need a 2 here. Let's grab a 2. There we go. We'll put the dirt in here. Once they've got that taken care of, we'll put more in here, and then we'll block off this, and I hope that should still empty out the cave here. Went ahead and set up for the cap in here, and then we're also going to go ahead and just try and, you know what, we could face these this way so that they can both come across and get done. And hopefully that takes the bad water and shoves it out over here, which means we can probably move our dam just a little farther and reclaim a little land over here. Still working on this here. We're actually, just because this is such an odd one from other ones, we've got the entrance there, and then we need to actually go up from here. And then from there, they need to build a two-way... No, they'll need to... Yes, I was right. Two-way station, and then another one, and then a... Oh, they're not going to need a two-way station up to the top. We'll just put in... We'll leave that. They're fine with just that. That will give them access. Hopefully, once they've built... Yep, they can now build the rest of it and get the rest of that in there. They've got everything in tunnel-wise over here, so we can actually go back through, take this out. We'll take out all of this as well. Hopefully, there we go. We'll take out the path. No, it's not showing me what they're deleting. I hate it when it does that. There we go. We'll take out all of those. We'll take out this here. Maybe we'll take out that there. There we go. We'll take out all of these all the way up to here. Yep, there we go. And now we can continue on with the tunnel itself. All this can go all the way up to here. And let's check on the upper limit portion. Looks like they've got another one in here. Is that... Nope, that's not quite open yet. So we're going to need more dynamite there. There we go. Once that comes in, we'll plan for the last part. They finally broke through over there. But you know what I just remembered? We should have actually moved it back one. So, tell you what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go all the way back down. Did they get all those in already? No, just that one. We're gonna take that out because... No, we can do that. We can walk straight into the mine. I forgot they don't work quite that way, so let's just go straight up here, and we'll do that, and we'll put in a tiny tubeway station. However, we're going to leave this one so that we can build the mine. We might as well get started on it, though. There we go. We'll get both of those in there, and once those are in there, we can erase basically a lot of this. Some of this up here, all of this, and we'll be farther along in burying our tunnels, which we'll have a whole, like, quadrant of the map buried, which is not too bad. We've got our strange storage solution here taken care of. We've got new areas for industry, which it looks like I thought I had changed these over to... spots so that we didn't get injuries, but I guess not. There we go. We'll get all these changed. One, it makes a lot more, and two, we don't have to worry about injuries that way. So these all, yep, they're all set, ready to go. Hopefully that'll start filling all of these up. We've got plenty of extra storage now. But I think that's going to do it for this time. So just want to say thank you very much for stopping by, and hope to see you next time. Bye.